Hello. Hi, Hobie Gal. How you doing? Yeah, I don't know how long I'll stream. Probably pretty much the normal time, Sunday. Don't have too much going on, but thanks for dropping by. Hope we can stick it out for a little bit. Welcome to the Kench Niner stream. Niner. I always leave one out or add one extra. Hope everyone is having a lovely Sunday. It's roughly 11:30 a.m. here at the Pacific Standard Time that I normally like to stream at. Try to get as close as possible for some strange reason. I don't know. But I've been looking forward to the stream today because I look forward to it every day. I get to fly around, get to say hi to a few people, get to put on my little show, to talk about random things for a while. Oh, it's a great excuse for me to pour a fresh can of Diet Coke into a glass that has ice in it. Oh, that hits. That hits. Oh my goodness. Something about that Diet Coke hit. A little fizziness and the undefinable brown flavorings. Oh yeah, I gotta have some more. In fact, let the Diet Coke flow. I say. Ah, it almost seems like I'm promoting a specific product on the show. Could that be? All right, what do we got going on today? Well, we have the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. Oh, we've got the Diet Coke. We have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 booted up. I say let's fly around. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know where it's going to be. All right. Let's get... But it is going to be roughly, 50 minutes or so of me flying somewhere. I kind of feel like going back to the ranch today. Haven't been there in a while. And of course, by the ranch, I mean WY32, I don't know, it's around here somewhere. I'll have to find, but the Circle B Ranch, Circle B Ranch in Kemmerer, which is also quite near Diet Cokeville, right here, Diet Cokeville Municipal Airport, which is of course one of my favorite things, but a different airplane because we tried that one that the ATIA and it definitely got through there. I think there's one near the bottom here of my thing, the Savage Cub. Believe it or not, I don't think we've tried to fly the Savage Cub through. It's one of the default planes. It is what it is. I don't call it exciting, but it's not exactly boring. Yeah, we'll just do the default configuration. We're not going to try to pick up. There's a mode of the game that I haven't tried where you take this plane in the aerial advertising mode and you capture a sign and then you wave it around. And I never have tried that. Have you ever tried that mission? I'm not even sure how to start with that, but all I know is that they advertise it right in the beginning of the game, and I wouldn't try it necessarily online before trying it offline off stream. All right, so we're at the Circle B Ranch. I feel very confident that we could cold start this plane. So let's try it. The Zlin Aviation. So I believe Zlin Aviation planes are mainly built from plans. You buy the plans and then you have to build it yourself, and it comes with a kit, all the key parts. But you got to be the kind of person who can fabricate their own parts. I believe. Maybe not all Zlins, but my understanding is a lot of them are not. They're not made by at the Zlin factory, but I could be, that's I don't want to double down on that. All right, looking kind of framey. Hopefully things will even out here. Beautiful day at the ranch. The live weather's turned on. We're up at over 5,000. We're like almost 6,000 feet, I believe. Look at the ranch. The ranch is going to look gorgeous. We're going to attempt to fly around in this very lightweight, ultralight plane. And there's some other planes around. Oh, this is already like a beautiful screenshot. We got some wind. There's the ranch. Okay, the barn that we're going to fly through is there. It's at the far end there. That's got the open doors. And I'm quite sure this plane is small enough. But is it maneuverable enough? Let's get rid of the chocks. Well, this stuff we can get rid of, but we're fine. When I have my plane set up to automatically take those off when we enter. What does it say there? Savage Cub. Okay. It's kind of primitive, but it has a classic kind of lightweight appeal to it. Very simple interior. Let's make sure everything's working here. Okay, throttle is working. It doesn't have a. I don't believe it has a propeller or mixture control. I could be wrong about that. Is there a mixture control? The ad area mission is in Florida. Wasn't a big fan. It was okay. Well, I'll have to. I'll have to do a little research. But I mean, you know, how do you have to go? Is it career mode? Okay, so we're gonna turn. Let's okay. That's ignition. We turn the magnetos on first, I think. We've got there's a master power switch somewhere, isn't there? Maybe not. Let's see. Hot engine choke. You want to pull that out for starting. Let's see. You got trim. I don't know if there is a fuel cutoff. If there is, I don't know where. Let's look around down here. That's the. This is the brakes. Do my toe brakes work? They do. Look, say I have individual toe brakes if I need them, but I don't usually use them. It's career mode. Oh, the icon is gold. So does that mean you have to advance at least some way through it? Okay, landing lights, inoperative strobe lights. I don't know if there is a master power, but do we have power? Yes, I don't think we have master power. So I may not turn the master power switch on. It's not there. It's not there. Oh, it's the ignition switch, right? Yeah, the ignition switch is effectively the master power switch. All right, because yes, the engine's running. It's a nice stable, coming up to a nice stable RPM there. All right, now that the engine's running, yeah, stuff's coming on. Turn on our strobes, turn on our the landing lights on. As we warm up, we can turn the choke off, the choke down. I'm watching our, let's see what we got here. RPM, things are coming up. Oil pressure, oil temperature is about to come into the green. And when it does, we can turn off the choke here. And we should stay running. Very good. All right, let's see. Do we have a radio? Yeah, I might check it out because it could be something fun to do on stream, but I don't know. We don't really have this is not really a controlled airport, but I guess there's a radio station. But there's this little dirt runway, and, this plane is a bush plane. It's rated for that kind of thing. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be able to handle it. Let's see if we can get a little forward motion here. Beautiful day in Wyoming. What are we at? We're at 6,500 feet. This is a very high plane here. And this is what it looks like from here. I never bother with the altimeter calibration, but I probably should. So anyway, they got a lot of this is this ranch. It's if you fly here, you won't see all the stuff unless you pay for the add-on content, which I recommend. It's got a lot of stuff to it. I don't think I've explored everything. There's like ranch dogs, you got cattle, a bunch of special things. There's this guy wandering around with a wheelbarrow. I don't want to run him over. Seems like a nice enough guy. This is one of those planes where you have to worry about if you brake too hard, you'll nosedive into you'll face plant effectively. That's always great. You hear the cows mooing. I got my little stuff up here. Apparently this is a real place, and it was owned by the Disney family. I don't know what that for some period of time. Although it isn't anymore. Okay, we're going to get ready. That's our thing here. We're going to get a nice little lineup here. We're going to announce our takeoff. All right, we want to put a little bit of trim on and get our flaps to the mid position, I believe, for takeoff. But I suspect we're going to take off quite quickly once we power up here. The other thing is it is a powerful single-engine plane, so it does kind of torque you a bit. You got to be careful of that. You can't really see over the front. Eventually, we will be able to. I'm going to stay on this little dirt runway here. It's plenty of runway for this one here, though. Yeah, once you get to here, you can kind of see. But you're just watching our speed. 65 is plenty. Fixed gear, of course. Not a ton of power. There's our irrigation equipment. It's actually moving through the circle there. Or that one's moving through a half circle. It's kind of cool. Some of them are full circles. All right, and then there's this copse of trees down here. Like a little park. I think actually I needed a bunch more positive trim for takeoff. It was recommending at least like 7 degrees, and I am noticing the tail to be quite heavy. Not that much, but I always wonder. They say there's a bear somewhere, but I haven't found the bear. But I'm guessing it's in here somewhere. but you'd have to be real close to the ground or on the ground, and it's a bear-sized bear. It's not giant or anything. I always figured it'd be close to the water, but I looked around here and I didn't see any bears. But there's a whole bunch of other areas, so maybe I'll have to look it up. But there's definitely wildlife around here on the ground. Okay, we're quite a ways from Salt Lake City too. Oops. This thing here. All right, let's check out the ranch a little bit. Maybe we'll fly around a bit. We're gonna try to go through the barn. There's gonna be a couple flights today. The second flight, I always, if I do a nice bucolic ranch flight today, the second flight will be like a downtown city flight, maybe LA. Look at the rich people's houses in West LA. So I got some interesting news to say today. Well, now that we're into the stream a bit, I don't know if anybody's here. There's this new kind of meta on Twitter that I noticed today, and it's where you ask Grok using a very specific language. In your feed on Twitter, you ask Grok, who is the most famous person that has visited your profile? And then you say, it doesn't have to be mutual. Don't tag them. Just tell me who it is. That's the whole thing. And you copy and paste it into your feed. And a bunch of people were doing it. I was like, oh, the most famous person who's visited you is some streamer with 16,000 viewers, average viewers. Pretty famous. And so I noticed those were popping up on my feed, and Gingerbread Beauty, another streamer, Marble streamer who I follow and I met a couple times. Hold on a second here. I want to get I'm going to get my flight recorder ready here. Flight recorder, record. All right, let's see if we can do this here. It's recording. Let me finish the story a second. All right, we're a little high. We made it. Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to get through. All right, stop the recording. And now let's play. And now you can see I no longer have to control the plane. It's being controlled by the flight controller, the flight control recorder. So it's basically replaying all my inputs. So now we can see exactly what's going on there. How low I got. That was actually pretty perfect. And I can do it as many times as I want. So I typed in, I copy pasted it. It takes a couple minutes for it to respond. You put it in your thing, and then like 5 minutes later, it says, "Oh, here's the most famous person that has visited your profile." Sometimes it couches it in language like, profile visits are private, blah blah blah. So I typed it in mine. 3 minutes later, it says, it's a response to my profile. The most famous person that has visited your profile is Elon Musk. It'll just keep repeating this. So, and I put that, a bunch of people were real jealous when I put in my, when I put mine out. They're like, ah. So Mistress Mord, my good friend Mistress Mord was watching this, and she's like, I wonder who, oops, I just took plane control. Let's try this again. Whoop. I don't be able to do it again because I'm not. Let's try the other direction, and we'll do another recording. So Mistress Mord went in, and it kind of couched it in some language, but basically implied that it was pretty sure that Rihanna was the most famous person that had visited Mistress Mord's profile, but it couldn't say it directly. It said based on diverse information sources. This is one of my ranch houses here. It looks a little messed up. I think it's a little good. I'm losing some detail here. I wonder if that's because of the flight recorder. All right, let's see if we can get in here again. Record. That's what it looks like from here. It's a lot scarier from there. A little less scary from here, but not much. I had to make some adjustments there. Got it through. All right, stop. All right, let's play that. Let's play back. Play back. We're playing it back. I want to try the flyby camera, but first I want to see this camera here. Some hairy stuff. I had to do some kind of rudder action here at the last second there. But then I was watching it, I was like, I have a feeling Elon Musk looks at a lot of profiles, probably millions of profiles. Is that somebody we know up there? I think so. All right, so if I do the flyby camera, that's what I want to try. Okay, the flyby camera should automatically move, right? Or not. Maybe not. That's not much of a camera then. Just trying to figure out how these camera things work. It's kind of cool though, being able to do this. Okay, let's try it again. This time we'll do it from the sky camera. Okay, sky camera. Okay, that's I guess on the plane. I don't have any control of the sky camera. It's pretty cool though. I like it. I have fun. All right, that was the fun part. Take plane control. Take our camera. Okay, first of all, am I flying the plane here? Why do I not have trim? All right, so that's the barn we went through. All right, we're gonna land over down at Diet Cokeville. Here's the ranch. I feel that was big success. So I was reading some Discord, like in Gingerbread Beauty's Discord, because she commented on my. She was like, Elon was visited Kench's profile. What the fuck? Which, you know, because it was a lot more famous than hers. And hers was the one, when she did hers, I was like, yeah, I want to do mine too. I was not expecting it, but then I realized some number of months ago, like 6 months ago, Elon made a tweet, and he has, hello, bird. It's a big bird there. And he said specifically he was calling out to software developers to submit their work. He put an email address in there because they were looking to hire the best and brightest software engineers. And they're like, hey, you know, just submit your work and then we can find out if you're a good one, you know, by submitting your work, whatever that means. And I sent him a reply, and that reply went viral with like 4 million, like 2 or 3 million views. So that must have got his attention. If you really want to know what I replied, you can look it up on my Twitter profile. I don't think anyone will. I don't care. I love these little slow planes. I mean, these are technically ultralights. I don't know. Again, beyond, you know, you can't, you know, it's not really you can take tourists. It only has two. Take one. You can put one passenger back there. Hello. You could drag a sign, but other than that, maybe, you know, being used as a bush airplane, which it is in Alaska, to be able to take mail and supplies to isolated strips and other areas. I like this little green. Boy, it's really taking us this a while. This whole area is kind of, I think, enhanced for the for that WI the Circle B Ranch there, which is behind us now. Well, like coming through this little thing here, and then we're going to make a left turn and land. Well, this land is to the west here, or the south, excuse me. But man, yes, Wyoming. I've never been to Wyoming, but it sure looks beautiful in a very natural sense, in the most natural sense. But I don't think there's really much in the way of big cities there. I mean, obviously they're cities. Let's see, what would be a good trim? I'm trying to adjust trim here. Is that about right? Going a little faster, maybe. Definitely getting some updrafts here next to this mountain here. A little hill, really. But yeah, I mean, we're up at 6,500 feet. So it feels like you're landing at sea level based on the ground being real flat in all directions. But then you're not getting nearly as much bite from the propeller. You need a lot more power. And the wings are not holding you up quite as much either. So you really need to compensate for that, for the altitude. But I'm getting used to it by flying here a lot. I guess this is kind of downtown Diet Cokeville. And no, I'm not just going to call it Cokeville. So get that right. That's got to be the local elementary school or something. And maybe, I don't know, it's like a main, probably that's the biggest building. That's where they make the Diet Coke. That's Diet Cokeville's Diet Coke plant. I don't know. Don't bother me. All right, we're heading to the municipal airport. All right, I'm not calling it that anymore. But this would be the kind of airport you'd be operating these kind of planes out of. little less, maybe 4% positive trim now. Following the power lines here. Do not cross those power lines at low level. I'm big on that whole power line thing. I'm like, watch out for your power lines. All right, what's our line up here? We're gonna do another flight after this. I'm a little heavy on fuel, but not that bad. All right, yeah, we want to hit here, and then we'll make a left turn here. This is what it looks like from here. And once we get a nice lineup, we do put our flaps to the mid position, 15 degrees. Again, 100. You know, the full position for flaps is usually not needed except in extreme conditions, and this is not one of them. So typically, any flaps is better is enough for this kind of plane. This airstrip has a long kind of lead in here. So yeah, I was watching some people on YouTube talking about the SU3, the update, the next update, and their claim is that it actually makes a significant change to the way planes handle in the air, which would be kind of radical. I mean, in just about every way that they handle in the air. Okay, reduce power here because we're going too fast. But I don't want to land here. You want to land past this little spot here. Right here. On the actual runway. And then, of course, the thing to be careful, watch out for this is bouncing bit. Oof. Oof, that's not good. We are going way too fast. That's all right. Now we're slowing. There we go. And watch out for the inevitable, the plane wants to either veer off the runway or dive forward because I'm braking. Let's brake it. All right, that's, I guess, a landing. These tail draggers are hard to land. Hardish, harder than, you know, other kinds of planes. All right, let's get this off here. Again, yeah, you can't see anything from the front. Realistic, I guess. That's the other thing I want to talk about with that ATIA plane, that plane that can hover or land vertically. I'm still complaining about the fact that there's no way to look down when you're trying to land vertically. You know, from the inside of the plane, there's no way you could do it. It seems like a massive oversight. But I was guessing it must have a camera mode, like where there's a camera facing downwards, and on your MFD, on the TV screen in front of you, on the monitor, normally showing instruments, you should just be able to see a downward view right in front of you. And I'm sure that's how it works, but it's not modeled in the game, that's starting to piss me off. I'm talking about the ATIA Ascendance, that electronic hybrid plane, or the electric. It's not really electric. It's gas powered. It's got gas tanks in it. Okay, we're gonna go back here to the GA airport, just because I like to do it. Yeah, I haven't gotten very far in career mode, but I would maybe like to try the sign mission. Go to Florida and check that out. I think last time we were in the Keys, we actually saw kind of where you can pick that up. Oh yeah, they always want us to park here on the grass. Watch out, sir! I might eviscerate you with the propeller. Oh, so as soon as I got in the grass, I sort of got some friction going on here. Okay, and I got the salute from the guy. Wait, are there no parking brakes on this one? Yeah, I believe this plane is the one that has no parking brakes, right? Yeah, I don't see one. That's flaps lever. Some planes, very few. I mean, you don't really need them. They're not, you know. And when you're looking to save weight, and you turn off the magnetos, that should shut down the engine, right? Very good. Lights off. That's all good. There we go. We're just gonna take a little screenshot here. So I remember I want to get these guys in the screenshot. Get our dudes. There we go. There we go. In the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. Just having landed. Let me get more of these dudes in here. There we go. That's kind of a screenshot. I don't know, maybe. I usually throw away most of them. All right, second flight. We got plenty of time. All right, where do you want to go? Want to go to LA? Sure you do. Who doesn't want to go to LA? Not in that plane, though. Too boring. Let's see. Free flight. Is it a nice day in LA? I don't know. It's not that nice here. It looks like it's a little cloudy-ish. I mean, oh no, actually that's northern. LA is fine. All right, I always like to do LA. It definitely stresses out the, we'll start from this Air Force base. It's nice and quiet. And kind of implies I want to take off in some kind of Air Force related airplane. We might do just fly my F-86. I don't really get enough. I've yet to get too much to not have fun flying that plane. And we do have a lot of variety of liveries. And actually, I believe cold starts correctly in 2024 and runs in general completely correctly in 2024, unlike a bunch of 2020 planes. Or probably the majority of them. All right. Oh, yeah, and they got this new brand. They added this brand new paint job, Cruz del Sur, not that long ago, so we might as well have fun with that. It's really probably the second time I've ever flied with this particular paint job. But this is going to be another cold start, I believe, because, you know, it's pretty easy if I remember. Let's see. We have, I guess, a bunch of parking spots here. If I remember correctly, I believe it's fairly easy. And again, the cold starting and the most fun part I have is cold starting, takeoff, obviously. Then the sightseeing is okay, but then the landing. But we're gonna go rich. We're gonna go hunting for rich people's houses in LA, and then we're gonna buzz them. Because I mean, hey, they don't deserve any peace. I don't know about that. Looking for somebody with a golden Kappa hype train every now and then over there. All right, we got a nice cold plane. Beautiful. Oh, super stunning. Gorgeous. Oof. The F-86 from the 1950s. Let's see if we can get inside here. All right, so that's the interior. Let's see if I can remember kind of what we need to do here. We need to turn on external power. We need to put the engine master on. These are all good. Yeah, we need to make sure that the throttle is about there. Air brakes are off. Flaps are in the mid position. Gosh, I keep forgetting if there's a fuel override on this plane. I think there is. Down here, flight control reset. I think we're okay with fuel. Parking brake on, gear down, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it'll let me start if there's, even do the start if there's no fuel. So, starter on. These are all good. That's hydraulics. There's nothing there. I do believe we are starting to spin up the engine. I see 2% speed. You can start to see fuel flow. You can hear it coming on. Fuel pressure is low. Oh, you can see the exhaust temperature is coming up, meaning we have ignition. I'm trying to be professional. I'm not a real pilot, but geez. But you know, it's part of it. I try to immerse myself a little bit. All right, so the engine is coming on. By the way, the cool thing is when you hook up the external power unit on this plane, it's a beautiful physical device. It's a diesel powered generator. And you can see the heat coming out of there. We're starting to build up some heat in the back there. It shows up. There's a lot of fun details about this plane. Another fun detail I like is that you can open the canopy and it slides back, and that's with the canopy open. All right, so once we've got to 25, 26, I think 30%, we can turn off our external power unit. There we go. External power is going to come off. And we can put our starter in battery mode. And what that means is at this point we're now charging the battery. It's as opposed to trying to running it through the starter. It's important to do that or you won't charge the battery while the engine's running. All right, let's see, that's all on. I think our avionics, yeah, we have to find out where my avionics master is. And that's one of these buttons here. That's not it. Might be down here. Oh, thanks for the follow. I do this roughly 5 times a week. No, it's not down there. The avionics master is here. I remember now. Okay, there's this. It's under It's COM 1 volume. COM 1 power on. COM 1 volume 100%. Now we can talk to the radio station. Los Alamitos. This is in the Los Angeles area here. Your grandpa used to use the Air Force pilots. Yeah, well, I love the vintage planes. A lot of people flying the flight simulator do a lot of airline, flights, which is really cool. Especially, a lot of them are former, they're former airline pilots. They really know what they're talking about. I'm a complete amateur. All right, but we're gonna taxi with our little windows, with our cockpit open, so we can get some air flowing through there. And we're gonna look for rich people's houses. Well, we're doing it every day for years. Okay, we're building up some speed here. Oh yeah, well, that's too much speed because the parking brake's on. This is the parking brake here. The parking brake off. You'll see we're gonna start moving. Hopefully our nose wheel steering is working. It appears. You see the nose wheel there? I'm moving it left and right. I just love how the little things work. But yeah, we can steer it. And it puts out a lot of jet exhaust. Now the other thing that's really cool about this plane is I have full control over those doors that open. Those are the air brakes. They're located in the rear of the fuselage. And one of my analog controls is mapped so that I can open it just small amounts. Oh, I didn't acknowledge. And that's really important during landing because the plane will be going too fast. And the other thing you can do now, and they just fixed this bug like a month ago, is control your flaps. The control, some systems have flaps where it's 0 and then max flaps, and then there's individual positions in between. So position 1 is a certain number of degrees, position 2 is a certain number of degrees, and sometimes there's 3 positions, blah, blah, blah. In other words, it just has a fixed number of positions. This flap system has a fully variable flap pitch. It's the only plane I have that likes it. So you can set your flaps to wherever you want. And there aren't any presets. You have to kind of know what you want. We want a little under 50%. Well, and I'll be setting the flaps as we get closer to our lineup position here. And it's done. There's a really interesting setting. This flaps control down there, which I also have mapped to an analog control, so I can do that from my throttle body here. Thank you. By the way, German Strings, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you, as always. We're basically going to fly around today. After another half an hour of this or so, there'll be some big brain games. There'll be a break, and then I'm going to drag my piano in over here. It's going to be a good old Sunday edition of Ken's Piano Lounge. We're going a little fast here. Put some braking on here for this turn here. We're no huge sure we don't want to turn this plane over. There's some bumps here in this road too. So I have a bunch of vintage World War II propeller craft. I got I even have a Mitsubishi Zero. I've got a bunch of Spitfire, British fighter plane, and also a bunch of American ones. P-38 Lightning I flew earlier this week. It was a lot of fun. All right, we're getting ready down here. We're going to make some pre-flight checks now. Ready for our pre-flight checks. Beautiful day in the Los Angeles area. All right, parking brake on. Number 1, canopy closed. You don't want to take off with the canopy off. Canopy closing. There it is. A lot quieter too. Number 2, set flaps. So the way we set the flaps, I'm going to do this from the outside. You can see this. Is I pull the flaps lever down to start the flaps going down. They start moving, and then when I set it back to the mid position, it's a little tricky. Okay, so I want it right around there, right under mid. Oops. It's a little tricky to get this thing in the right place. I think that's the right place. Okay, so now they're set to 16 degrees, which is good. All right, so we got flaps set. We're going to tune the tower and ask for clearance. Los Alamitos Tower. That's pretty much all the checks we need to do. There's no, oh yeah, a little positive trim. So a little positive trim, not much, but a little bit of positive trim. That thing messed up. I'm not setting my timer. Well, fine. All right, a little more power here. Brakes off. Check the runway. Nothing coming in from that side. Nothing on the runway. We're out of here. It's time to fly. But I like all the prep stuff. We don't need this here anymore. I do enjoy the prep. And basically, a nice long runway. We just get ourselves a line up. Now we're going to build up speed. Sometimes I like to sit with the parking brake on and build up speed, but that's not necessarily on this runway. Here the engines come to a roar. Takeoff is about 125. We're doing about 110 there, 120. So there's our rotate. Off the ground, positive rate. Gear coming up. There it is. Love it. Doors coming in. And then flaps to the 0 position. Flaps to the 0 position. We can start reducing throttle, so not go too fast. I want to talk to the radio people. That's what it looks like from here. So the first thing we're going to notice is that we're going to fly over. Actually, the airport's north. I don't know what this is. Is this the Los Angeles River here? I don't know. We're going to fly up the coast. It's the interesting part. And then we're going to find the rich people's houses and buzz them. I know where they are. They can't hide from me. All right. So this is what it looks like from here. It's it's got all that worn, very worn look to the interior. As if it's definitely kind of a restored. What are you doing here? Okay, we're going to set to 0 trim. How many different little views do I have here? That's probably the only useful one. It's probably better if it's wider, too. So here's some beachfronts, like Long Beach area here. I guess. We're going to start seeing a bunch of buildings here. Alright, so now that we start getting some speed up, if I remember correctly, you really do need a lot of negative trim to keep the nose down. One of the really fun things, this is Long Beach, one of the really fun things in this area is the Queen Mary is well represented in the game. They've always wanted to do something with it. It's basically, you can go on and check it out, but there's nothing really to do there. It was going to be a hotel, they were going to have entertainment, parties on it. It's right over here. And I think there's some other stuff to do around here. I'm not sure what's in that dome. I thought maybe the Spruce Goose was in that dome, but I'm not sure about this. But I can tell you this is the Queen Mary right here. We're going to buzz it pretty low. Right there, that's a unique ship in the game. You always see this in this one point here. That's the port of Long Beach, right here. Pretty impressive port. Kind of cool buildings too, central buildings. Storing a lot of stuff. We're going to stay nice and illegally low. All right, we're going to head north. We got a ways to go. We're going to get to the rich people's houses, okay? They're not going to be able to avoid us. I think is this a train bridge? I'm not sure. It's not really. We can't go under that one, that's for sure. We'll find one to go under someday. But yeah, this is a very industrial area of Los Angeles, this part here. Highly industrialized. Not much people, people aren't going to be living in this area. But pretty shortly, we will be seeing where a lot of people, rich people live. And see those hills up there? Mm-hmm. Okay, the city of, it's actually on the other side. The city of Los Angeles is still kind of that direction. It's a ways off. It's a big area. But we're in a pretty fast plane. We should be able to explore pretty quickly. Again, I love these piles of the containers, the shipping containers. For some strange reason. I don't know why. There's an air-sea terminal. Exactly. It looks exactly like the GTA map. There are some very iconic locations in the Los Angeles area. Yes, it is. Yeah, GTA 5 San Andreas is or what is it? Is it or is it Lost? Is the Angels Los Angeles? I don't remember what they call it. One of those is the one in GTA 5 is modeled after Los Angeles, and it does have a lot of iconic Los Santos. Thank you. For example, we'll be going up. One thing that's quite noticeable from Los Santos is the Santa Monica Pier. appears, and it's that pier which you know you can go to, and there's a bunch of amusement park stuff going on out there. So we're gonna check out the Santa Monica Pier. It's a ways up north here, but we're already heading north. We're already getting into kind of the we're not really in LA Central yet. It's kind of it's getting there though. Well, to me, I mean, it's a vibe to me. I love flying around. I mean, and I love flying around low and just checking things out. I'm like, oh, is that a museum? Is that a mall? Oh, is this a nice beach? I used to kind of live. Well, yeah, Top Gun movies has actually brought a lot of people, I believe, into flight simulation. Okay, I think there's some kind of rich people living over here on this hill. Hey guys, wave! Hey, how you guys doing? Nice house you got there. They can't hear us. They're living real close to a seaside golf course. Oof. All right, you guys. But yeah, you know, anything that helps in aviation. But yeah, this kind of Top Gun's all about you, the single pilot in a jet. You know, the freedom of wherever you want to point that plane, that's where it's going to go. And you're responsible for getting it off the ground, getting its mission successful, and getting it back on the ground. No one else is going to help you. And that's really the romance of flying to me. And that's what we're doing here. We're in a you know, it's a vintage jet, but still the idea is it only has a single pilot on it. And he's got that job to get this plane up. All right, this is Point Vicente. There's a lighthouse down here. Better check it out. A lot of Spanish tile roof houses. It's like a mini golf course in there. Don't worry, I won't crash too often. I just want to see, can we see the lighthouse? Is the lighthouse impressive? I'm gonna go no. I mean, there is a lighthouse. All right, back on land. There's supposed to be a lighthouse there. I can barely tell, but I'm guessing there is one. All right, back north. We're gonna be heading over. Yeah, if it was a good size. But there's a ship out there called Brown Eyed Girl, which is a song that I sing every on the guitar streams. Van Morrison song. I sing it every time. Today it's not a guitar stream though. Today is but I just love that there's a Brown Eyed Girl is kind of a pop meme. I like that there's like a canyon down there. Lots of people. These are, you know, I'm not gonna say these are the rich people, but they got pools. Mostly, this is not. You'll be able to tell when we get the actual rich people. It's kind of West LA, but we're not even in LA proper yet. Oof. As people are doing okay over here. Most people have a nice view. Most people are doing just fine. But they're not the fancy people like in West LA. We'll check it out. Do I know the Legend of Zelda franchise? Yes, but I don't play any of the music from any of those kind of video games, which is too bad because they're great tunes. They're often amazing songs. Every time I hear one, I'm like, oh, I should play that, and people know them. I'm just not familiar with them, and it's really, you know, I'm more of a, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s kind of classic music thing. It is. No, they're beautiful music, and I do get requests for a lot of those things. I mean. Or Pokemon. Some of the Pokemon themes are really nice. But they're very beautiful just as musical pieces played on the piano by themselves. They actually really work. I just don't think I have the time to learn them. And the way I learn music is kind of unique. I just listen to a song a whole lot. I don't usually look at the page. I mean, if they're lyrics and I want to memorize the lyrics, I will read them. But for the music, I listen to it and then I learn how to play it from ear. We have not passed the Santa Monica Pier yet. Santa Monica Pier is north of here. I mean, we got to pass the airport. But I just love all these. This is really like high density beach housing. So this is people who want to live near the beach, but they're not that wealthy. This whole area is kind of semi-affordable, but still super expensive. Because these houses are older and some of them are little tiny 2-bedroom houses with 1 bathroom and no garage. You know, they're the minimum that you can get away with and have a house. But hey, you're 3 blocks from the beach, and that means a lot to a lot of people. And they got this whole oil and refinery right here. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I think that is probably a power plant there. Usually right next to the water. They need ocean water for cooling. So I think there's power plants and stuff over here. That's water treatment center. I'm pretty good at, I think, identifying things. Now, this is Los Angeles International Airport here. That's why it's getting real framey. There's a lot of details, a lot of stuff going on in this airport. We shouldn't be flying here because we're right over the flight path, but a lot of planes landing and taking off. They usually take off towards us and land also, from the other side. So this would be taking off planes on this side. They take off over the water. But usually they land from the other side because of onshore wind. And then, of course, you got famous Marina del Rey. Here's where it starts getting kind of richy rich over here. This Marina del Rey, it's mostly, there's some houses, but it's mostly these kind of residential buildings that are very expensive condos. They're not apartments. You have to buy them. But these buildings here specifically, these and those and those. These are some of the most expensive, like, condominium-style buildings in Los Angeles because of the prestige of saying you live in Marina del Rey. There's the Ritz-Carlton Marina del Rey. I never really been there personally. Yeah, that's exactly what Los Angeles is. It's a big patch of land separating the rich from the extremely rich. We're heading towards them though. You'll be able to tell. It's not cookie cutter houses. But there sure are a lot of them. We're heading a little more. Okay, now you can see that in the distance. By the way, that's Santa Monica. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the Santa Monica Pier. We passed it. We did pass it. No, it's right here. So I mean, look how small it looks in the real world, but in the game, it's kind of huge. In Los Santos, it's kind of huge. But this is what that pier, the Santa Monica Pier, is based on. And real quickly, you can kind of see. There's that thing, and if we go down there, and that building with kind of a tent shaped structure over it is in the building, and then all those kind of, it actually goes farther out over the water than it looks like for whatever reason. This isn't a great model, but it's partially on land. And then this parking lot, all this is really well represented in Los Santos in the game. All that particular little area right down there, and then there's part of. There's this part. This is the Pacific Coast Highway, and there's a part where the Pacific Coast Highway comes off to the left. You see that there, and you follow that up to the left, and you get on the freeway. That's also represented in Los Santos. So there definitely are a lot of really real places that people go to a lot. That if you've been to this area, you can pick them out. All right, we're starting to get to where the richy. You can tell because there's a lot of houses, but a lot of trees, and there's a lot of oh my God. There's a lot of golf courses. But no, we're starting to get to where the richy rich is. It's kind of in these hills. But we're starting to get into, we'll shortly be in the Beverly Hills area and Bel Air, Berg Streets, if you ever heard of that. This is a really famous, I think this is Beverly Hills Country Club right there. Very famous. And then I think Bel Air is on this direction here. This is Westwood over here, right? What is that? West Los Angeles, right? Is that Westwood there? I think this is Westwood here. We got to cross over the I-5 freeway at some point, right? And then we can find UCLA, which is my alma mater. And I believe it's around here somewhere. Look at all these really, really ornate buildings. Wow, I love LA. I love flying over it. All right, so we're about to hit the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. I used to go to school right here. This is Westwood down there, right down there. And a bunch of theaters down there. And then this whole block here is the University of California, Los Angeles. A little alma mater. I'll show you where we're going to stop time and dive out of the plane using our magical parachutes. It's a big-ass school. So down here there's the medical center, but then there's also the what we call the science buildings, the science and math buildings down this direction, and that's the only place I ever stood around. But everyone else who all the people in the liberal arts would be going up here. This is the quad here, kind of down here, up here, where kind of the original school buildings are. This one right here, these two facing each other. So I think the student union's in kind of over there. There's a pool. Huge campus, but I basically spent my time in the South Campus, which is kind of where we're flying over. That was a long time ago. 7-figure taxes, probably. Yeah, these people don't pay taxes. Their corporations pay taxes. Right, back in the plane. There we go. Back in the plane. We're gonna fly up towards the Griffith Observatory. So yeah, this is this area. So anyway, so as I mentioned, below us, estates, golf courses, giant estates. Why are we going so slow? I want to buzz these people. I want to ruin their day. I want to shake their goblets. Some more estates over there. Big estate over there. All these houses are at least $6 million, but they go up to about 30 in this area here. We'll also see the Hollywood sign. People want to live near the Hollywood sign. I'll show it to you. We're flying over it. The thing I think they haven't updated in the game is that if you fly over Pacific Palisades, I don't think it shows the fire damage. This over here is the Beverly Center. This little it's a pretty fancy mall. You can't really see that it's really colorful, unfortunately, from this angle here. But it's really colorful. It's got like red and blue and green, solid color buildings. You can see from this angle a lot better. Beverly Center, really cool place. You know, for Richie Riches to spend their money. Again, this is the Sunset Corridor. You can see those buildings heading towards LA. Nobody goes to downtown LA. Nothing today, I don't think. I don't think we have anything to watch today. I'm glad you made it, though. Thanks for coming by. What school is this? Hold on a second here. The Lions. Does it say the name of the school? Oh, Fairfax. Yes, this is Fairfax College. Right there. It's pretty well known. It's a school. Yeah, I don't think there's anything on today. How far are you on Squid Game? Because I have finished it, so you don't have to worry about giving me spoilers. Okay, this is Hollywood Hill. This is the Hollywood here, right here, the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel. And like the Chinese theater is right around here. Okay, well we won't give any spoilers on the channel here. Let's see, where is if I can find Griffith Observatory, I can definitely find Griffith Park Observatory. I think we passed it. I can find the Hollywood sign. It's kind of small from there. Is it up? Oh no, here it is. I got it. Griffith Park Observatory. Yeah, well the thing is, it's kind of a vibe. The thing about Squid Game is it's a vibe. It's not, you know, it's either you like it or you don't. I think this is Griffith Park. Yeah, this is Griffith Park Observatory right here. Right there. That's Griffith Park Observatory. There's a better model in 2020 than there is in 2024, but it's fine. All right, so in order to find the Hollywood sign, we got to head northwest of the Griffith Park Observatory, which is not the direction I was going, but this time I will. This here is a really famous place where this has the KABC television studios here. There's also a bunch of TV studios and movie making studios you can see from the air quite easily. Oh, I know how to get to one too. We're gonna go to. Is anybody here watching a show on HBO called The Studio? It's a great show. All right, so where's Griffith Park? Griffith Park Observatory is here, right? And the Hollywood sign's going to be up here on this ridge right ahead of us. So we should get a decent view of it from here. It's pretty small. Oh yeah, here it is. You'd think it'd be really visible from the air, but you kind of have to know where it is. I've missed it a million times, and I had to learn like, oh yeah, there's a ridge and there's a radio antenna on the ridge. This is how big it is in the real world, though. Don't tell me, don't ever say I never took you to the Hollywood sign. In the real world, I mean, it's like they're like 6 stories tall, but that's how big 6 stories tall is. You know, they're probably a little more visible. They don't look that great. So anyway, you can see Griffith Park Observatory is back that way. Then there's this thing. It originally said Hollywood Land, and it was advertising this this area here is called Hollywood Land. They built this this whole subdivision here. You can see kind of the bounds of it right where I'm looking. There's like 600 houses in there. And they called it Hollywood Land to try to get advertisement to get people to buy the houses. It was not meant to advertise or be permanent or to advertise Hollywood. It was that specific development down there. Kind of funny. All right, so yeah, so we head dead south from the Hollywood sign, dead south. We're gonna fly over Sunset Gower Studios. Sunset Gower Studios is both kind of where they filmed the studio and also the setting of the studio. You could tell because you can actually see the it's right down here. You can see the Hollywood sign from the studio buildings. Gotta see if I can find them. They're kind of low. Sunset Gower Studios. Oof. It's right around here. Wait, I'm gonna take a look here. That is the Cinerama Dome right here. It's a really famous movie theater. I've been there, been there a million times. That theater right there. I believe that's the Cinerama Dome. Really famous movie theater. I think it's closed. This is a really famous part of Hollywood. Okay, where is the studios? It's right around here. It's kind of the studios themselves are quite iconic, but again, it's hard to tell. But you can really, the sign is right behind it, and I know it's lined up with the sign perfectly. Might be a little further out. I might be flying right over them. I think they might be like right here. Yeah, right over. I think that actually is the studio buildings. I might be correct. Maybe it's a little early. There's actually two studios. One Sunset Gower, and then the other is, I think, Paramount. So it's and they're pretty close to each other. I think Paramount. It's around here somewhere. I can't really see it now. I think those look like studio buildings there. Kind of hard to tell, but they usually have that kind of arch top shape. But there's a bunch of studios around here. There's Burbank Studios too, which kind of used to be Disney, but this is a studio right here, right below us. I don't remember which one it is, but this is a movie studio right there. I think that's Warner, maybe not. And that's their back lot right there. They use for filming backlot stuff. It's pretty cool when, kind of the whole Hollywood business being located there. And I did spend my first 21 years in the Los Angeles area out in Pasadena. You can fly over. How much time do we have? We gotta land. Time to land. All right, we're gonna land in Santa Monica. It's not too far. All right, let's put up the thing. Time to land. It's over here. We're gonna make a nice lineup with Santa Monica. And then we're gonna land. I love landing. It's my favorite part. That's what it looks like from here. What's our speed? 164. We're going a little slow. We're gonna make our lineup for Santa Monica here. A little more power here. Oh gosh, yes. Let's see. A little more power. I love it. You can see, look down the tailpipe. You can see those flames there, the smoke coming out. It just adds to the immersion. Okay, now that's enough power. Starting to get a little bit of flaps in here. Not exactly sure how our lineup is, but I can adjust it at the last second, I'm sure. All right, now that we're this far out, we do want to start bringing down the gear. The gear's coming out. You see the doors open, gears come down, doors close. I love it. And we have full gear. You can kind of see over there. Actually, there should be lights, but I don't see any lights. Okay. We don't want to go under 135 knots. And when my flaps are not down. Close enough. All right, flaps are down. Oh yeah, so I can put those speed brakes out. Those doors at the back of the plane, and you're going to need those to slow down. But especially once we hit the ground. We don't need them now. Got a nice lineup. 135 is a nice approach speed. Coming into Santa Monica. Use power. Full brakes. Let us come down real gently. Nice gentle landing there. Braking. Wing brakes on the back. Braking. Flaps down. Nice. Right on the center line, pretty much. Alright, flaps back up. Flaps coming up. Wing speed brakes in. There they come in. Braking with regular brakes. Why aren't my flaps coming up? There they go. Hello. Sorry. Well, I didn't call in. But that guy's a maniac. Do I have my brakes on? Oh yeah. Park brake off. That guy's some kind of maniac. Oops. That's too much speed. Alright, we're gonna park. Where is it? It wants us to park way back here. We're in Santa Monica. I have landed here many times before. It's one of my favorites. I mean, you don't get the kind of traffic that you'd have to worry about in LAX. And it can really be a big deal. Alright, we're going to come in for a little maneuver here. I think I passed him a little bit. Close enough for government work. All right, cabin open. That was fun. I enjoyed it. All right, we're just going to go right to the big brain games after this. And after the big brain games, it's going to be Ken's Piano Lounge. So be sure to get ready to mash that mute button. All right, I love to take a screenshot. Okay, here we go. Screenshot. There's this guy there of this gorgeous plane. I can move around and get pretty much any angle I want. But pretty much oh yeah, how about that angle? Like right up the tail. Of course, I like getting kind of the pilot view too. Like a real close-up view of the pilot. That's always really dramatic. That's going to have to do. Basically, it's like a little postcard I mail myself at the end of every show. And sometimes I use them in my, sometimes I tweet about in advance about my show, like, because I have some number of followers on Twitter, and sometimes they come. It's not that all. All right, that was the Microsoft Flight Simulatoring section. I'm going to go to our main menu here. At least it didn't, at the end, it didn't get real choppy and nasty like it did yesterday. Let's see, we go temporarily into just chatting. Oh, give me a second. Just chatting, please. Thank you. Done. All right, we're just chatting. I'm going to quit the desktop here. Yeah, sometimes we watch Skibbity Toilet, and we will be watching more stuff, but I'm waiting for something with a little more meat to the, it's not just a what if or something like that. But we do, one thing I do like to do every single stream, and I stream 5 days a week, what I like to call the big brain games. I do this, in fact, on the days I don't stream. This is a thing I do every day to keep my brain, hopefully, moderately limber. We do this, do a Quirtle, sometimes a couple Quirtles. The revealed game, daily revealed game, we'll get into that later. The tightrope trivia quiz, 9-question trivia quiz, and 2 octurals, which are like Quirtles, except you have to solve 8 words instead of 4. Let's dive in and see how the brain is working today. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the piano too, so it'll be pretty standard stuff, I imagine. All right, let's see what we got here. A bunch of things here. This could end in ER, but it could be Baylor or Abler. So that's 2 things on the upper right. This one here could be trawl. Let's try trawl, AWL, because that's a real likely one. Okay, the W wasn't helpful, but we have, okay, then we have mince on the lower right. That's a pretty easy one here. And we have piano all spelled out. These are going to be easy. Well, these first three ones will be easy. The last one here, okay, right. It still could be Abler or Baylor. Let's try Abler. It doesn't matter. It's one or the other. As I said, yeah, it's either Baylor or Abler. It could have been Abler, though. But 50-50. Hey, we get an extra guess. That's done. We're done for the Quirtle. We're going to move on to the revealed. All these are available from this one site, which is nice. The Britannica game sites. Okay, the revealed, we get this clue. It's a place. It has a 5-letter word and a 12-ish letter word. How many is that? 11-letter word to describe this place. We get this heavily redacted document that we can read through. And for the darker colors there, we can do a certain number of reveals, but we want to do the least number of reveals to think so we can guess. And you can guess as many times as you want, and that's free. So there's no reason to not guess. But I don't. Let's see if we can figure out what it is by reading the blanky blank thing. So I do this annoying thing where I read it out, and it actually does help, like this. Okay, so the place blank blank in blank blank near the blank border. Its central blank blank rises to blank blank and is the blank in blank. The place lies about blank blank east of the blank and about blank blank south of blank blank. The blank extends approximately east-west. It's not a desert, though, for blank blank and consists of blank principal blank 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 and blank. Oof. I'm not going to give up, but I don't know what this is. I'm going to do this long one here. East of the East African Rift System. Old Divide Gorge doesn't fit in there. It's not a desert. It's probably not a rainforest. East of the East African Rift System. South of Nairobi, but it's not the Gobi Desert. All right, what's this here? Oh. All right, I'm gonna do a little cheating. Not cheating, but I want to see. I want to see what it. Where's the East African Rift System? It's a little cheating. I don't care. Everyone's doing it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this one. This one seems real specific. East Africa, African Plate, east of the East African Rift System. Yeah, we'll just kind of figure it out. I mean, we'll just have to keep revealing it and then until it's been east, west, or blah. What is this one? Kibo. What is a Kibo? Okay, that just gave me the clue that I needed, but I probably wouldn't have got this one without kind of... well, we got to move on without doing a little research. But at least, you know... Well, the tightrope trivia you can't do that on. Let's see the results. I don't care. We cheated. It was hard. That was a hard one, too, which is fine. I don't know if we cheated, but it's just a game. All right, we're going to do the trivia quiz. We're moving along. Sundays is the hardest, so it's gonna kick my ass. It'll kick your ass too, though. We're making what's just the shape of DNA, really, of those. That one is an easy one. I consider that one easy, but they'll get hard. I happen to know this one too because let's just say I have personal front hand information about that particular solution there. From the High Maori dance of New Zealand. Maori are native to New Zealand. So far, these are not the hardest ones. Official mammal of the U.S. I think the bison, yeah, the bison was almost wiped out, and then it got protected, and now there's quite a few. Emergency base billions. 3 emergency bailout loans. I think Greece is the one that's had a lot of problems economically. 54, 40, or fight. Boundary of which area? Oregon? Wow, that was these are hard. Hey, thank you for your offer to give me your best viewers. The blank mist, the ephemeral mist is what they're looking for there. Well, we're doing well on the hardest trivia of the quiz of the day. Yesterday just kicked my ass and it wasn't supposed to be as hard. But these are, you know, January 115 in July, about a mile above. The Kalahari, it was the Gobi. I should have known that one. It's a guess. Gobi, should have known that. White skin in a fictional language. Tarzan makes the most sense because he was a Caucasian nobleman in Africa, raised by the monkeys. Wow, that was not bad considering that's the hardest one of the week. I'm pretty happy to have crossed it. We didn't get a great score, but I'm just happy to cross it. That wasn't too bad. All right, I'll accept that one. All right, we got 2 more games to go. There's an Octurtle, and we're going to do the classic Octurtle as a warm-up, and then the rescue Octurtle because it's really hard. And I like the challenge. This is just a warm-up, meaning that there isn't any possibility of me not like solving it eventually. Let's see, we got blast on the upper left. My 3 starting words make mincemeat of these puzzles usually. Not always. We have, let's see, this one is minus, M-I-N-U-S, all right. Then we got, let's see, this one on the lower left could be inbox, which is a word, believe it or not. I don't know if it's really a word. Okay, with this one here, we have T and an R. It could be troop, right? T-R, troop. Then we here, this one here, it could be basal, B-A-S-A-L. And then we got 3 more to go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this one has this one could be T-Y-I-N-G, tying. Okay. And that helped down here because we needed that G. Well, where's the G go? N-G-I doesn't work. Yeah, it's Nei, N-E-I-G-H. Okay, that makes it easy enough. Down to the last one, and then we'll do the last game. Hold on a second here. All right, the last game, or last one here before the last game. All right, S-R, but no, it's not syrup. It's S-P, no, super, maybe. All right, last game of the big brain trivia games. This is the hardest one. It's called the rescue because I don't get to use my powerful 3 starting words. It picks 4 words. and they're usually pretty crappy, like these, at random. Let's see. We don't have an I or a Y represented in any of those 4 words, which is interesting because I think that makes this word on the lower right obviously light, L-I-G-H-T. So that gives us the I. That was nice, but it wasn't used anywhere else. There's always going to be a few. S, could these... see, it could be scope or spo. I don't know if it could be SPO anything here with an E at the end of it. Spoy, yeah. So let's try a scope. Let's try scope. On the lower right here. Nice, because that C was really helpful. We needed that C really badly. Oh, here we have. This could be carve, C-A-R-V-E. Could it be anything else? I don't know. Maybe. It was carve. All right. Here. Let's see. I think this is going to be S-N-A-K-Y. Snaky. Not much of a word, but what else could it be? What else could it be? All right, we're doing halfway through the rescue already. Not bad. We've got them all right so far. Okay, this one here has an A and ends in O-K-E. So it's got to be awoke. A-W-O-K-E. And the W is helpful. Nice. Down here. So now we know it's got to be S-W-O something P. So I'm just thinking swoop. And now we got 2 more to go. We got where the ends in Y. It has an N and an L in E. L. It could be and it could be something blank A-N-L-Y or A-L-N-Y, or it could start with an N. In which case it'd be N-A something L-Y. But I don't think there's any. Oh, it could be namely, right? Is that a word? Namely, no. Can't be namely. Yeah, I don't think the N can start the word. I mean, L can't start the word. So it's, let me just figure this out. It's something A, like Anley or Alney, but I think Anley, what would that be? Family, Janley, manly. Manly. How about manly? Let's try manly. I like it. All right, process of elimination. We're moving along. The final word, and we have 2 guesses, so I'm liking it. And we know it has, it looks like clock, so, no, it can't be clock, because it doesn't start with C, but it flock, F-L-O-C-K. It could be block, too, by the way, but it was flock. Excuse me. Gotta have a little Diet Coke here. There's a bunch more of these Quirtle games and Octoral games, quite a few, that they do every single day. And later in the day, I will complete all of them. There's 5 of these. There's 5 Quirtles and 5 Octurals, which we did 2 of the Octurals. And I'll do the other 3 and 4. So there's like a bunch more. Just because I'm kind of, I don't know, obsessive about completing these games. All right, here. Is anybody doing anything on checking? I'm randomly looking at my list of streamers I'm following. Just to see if anybody I know is doing anything interesting. All right. So the next thing that's gonna happen is I'm moving into the musical category. Music category. I'm in the music category. Woohoo! All right, but it's gonna take me a few minutes to bring my piano in. I got to bring my stand in. I got to piano. So I'm going to run my mid-roll, my regular mid-roll. It could take me a little bit longer, but stick around. About 3 minutes later, we'll be launching Ken's Piano Lounge. good. We do have some obstructive activity going on here. Someone wants to play the piano. The kitty wants to play the piano. Kitty's taking over the lounge. Cat content. Nothing I can do about it. He's a little better than me. I gotta admit, I get pissed off about that. Oh, he's off. He's done. All right. Welcome to the Cat's Piano Lounge. Well, actually, it's no longer the Cat's Piano Lounge. It's Ken's Piano Lounge. It's a place where we gather and we all enjoy the Diet Coke activity. You can see a lot of the ice is melted, but it's still nice and cold. Diet Coke is free in Ken's Piano Lounge, or it would be if it was a real place that actually existed, but it's not. In fact, Ken's Piano Lounge isn't even a place. It's this list of songs. It literally says Lounge Act Song List. It's a list of songs. I've memorized all these songs, but what I haven't memorized is the songs that I've memorized. And once you think about that and understand how that's possible, you will have become a very wise person indeed. Let's get started, though. For example, it'll say something like, Say a Little Prayer, Natalie Cole version, Burt Bacharach song. It's pretty standard. It goes like this. Just settle into Ken's Piano Lounge, get yourself a drink. I don't know what time zone it is for you. There's going to play a bunch of songs like this one. I want to adjust my picture a little bit here. There we go. Oops. I don't know the song. I'll figure it out. Not very much. I used to.
kind of guessing from the way you're talking that you may be a musician who does play, for example, classical romantic era music. In which case, that is especially, I'm just going to assume you are. That's an especially nice compliment. Yeah, I kind of stick with I have played various forms of music in the past, but I'm really kind of settling into this lounge music, like lounge version of Steely Dan songs or things like that, where it's kind of, it's kind of fun, it's kind of unique. Here's a kind of a lounge version of Flashdance, I would have feeling. Nice, Chet Baker, certainly. My drop frames rate. Anyway, I'm just gonna play more of the lot music. Occasionally, I will sing a song. I'm just trying to keep my voice limber. Most of the singing I do is on the guitar stream, aka tomorrow. But this is a song I like to sing. It goes like this. Come by anytime. Make sure I guess if you hit that follow button, you get your notifications. And it's free. Gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country. Gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to. Oops, hold on a second. I forgot I need reverb. Moving to the country. Thank you. We're gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country. Gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. Well, I'd eat peaches every day, sun-soaking bulges in the shade. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. I took a nap where the roots all twist. I swished a rotten peach in my fist, and I dreamed about you, woman. I poked my finger down inside to make a little room for an ant to hide. Well, nature's candy in my hand, or can or pie. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Peaches. That's from the Presidents of the United States of America. It's a real different song when they do it. I love that though. Right. Here's a couple from my idol, Todd Rundgren. One of my musical idols, excuse me. Not an actual person idol. All these fun songs I love doing every time. Let's do a little Steely Dan. lots of songs I want to sing. I want to do it's kind of a recent one. It's not on my list, but I'm just enjoying playing. It's called "Drops of Jupiter" by Train. I'm not gonna try to sing it. It's a really hard song to sing, but I believe it's a lovely song. Just as a little piano composition, it goes like this. Drops of Jupiter. Okay. I gotta play Girl from Ipanema every time. It's not a piano lounge. Let's see what we want to do here. Little Stevie Wonder. I don't think it would be a piano lounge, and I would not be much of a piano lounge piano player if I did not play Misty for you. Node. All right, that's a little that song, Misty. Jeez. All right, a couple more songs here. What do we got on the list here? I'm kind of skipping over a little bit, so I don't do all of them every time. I like to do this one. Can You Read My Mind? It's from Superman the movie, the original one, 1980 something, 1981. It was written by John Williams, by the way. Yes, that same John Williams. Can You Read My Mind? I'm going to sing the next song. It's called Secret Agent Man. There's a man who leads a life of danger. With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, well, another chance he takes. There you are. Odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. Gonna get you out of the woodwork. Beware of pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. sunning in the Riviera one day, then bleeding in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Look out, it's a agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. They've taken away your name. Look at it, it's a agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Secret agent man, I like playing that song too. All right, do some couple instruments. Somebody was asking about, they said their favorites earlier. They like jazz music. Well, I'm gonna play a couple songs after I think that's top selling jazz album of all time, which is the Peanuts soundtrack by Vince Guaraldi. If it's not the top selling jazz album of all time, I believe I've heard it was. It's in the top 10. And also from the album, this one. Charlie Brown and Charlie Brown Christmas. That's the second one. Linus and Lucy is the name of this one, but this that's actually not called Peanuts or anything. It's not called Charlie Brown. Linus and Lucy, 2 side characters. Anyway, okay. Gee, it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Arm in arm over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go on harmonizing a song, or she's reciting a poem. Owls fly by and they give me the eye, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, she gives me a smile and cuddles my cheek to her chest. We start to pet, and that's when I get her powder all over my vest. Well, after I kind of straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. And it's one kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. Straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. Then it's one kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. I'm just walking my baby back home. We'll be walking my baby back home. I usually just do that. Instrumental, so I barely remember the lyrics, but hey, here's another one. Oh, I really got a cough. Give me a second. 1 second here. I think it's better. One more song. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for, and it's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. And I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. And it's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. All right, that's it for me for today. I think that's a bit for that's a show. Here we go. Keep my coat on. It's getting a little warmer here. That's where I'm starting to sweat a little bit. You can see the redness, but I'm fine. All right, put some stuff away here. Thanks for so many people came by and said hi today's show. Like which is not that untypical, but I'm always surprised when anybody comes down. We had a couple of new people. We had 2 new follows today, which is 2 more than I normally get. So, a big success, huge success. Such a huge success. I'm going to do the whole thing again tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow might be canceled due to personal reasons. I have to decide. I won't be able to know until last minute. So we may not be streaming until Wednesday. No big deal. Hey, if you're missing me on Monday, you're like, where's it go? Check through one of my 400 or 500, VODs on YouTube. You'll probably find one you haven't seen. You'll probably find a couple hundred you haven't seen. There'll be a lot like with the show that I didn't do on Monday if I don't do a show on Monday. It's just work and other personal requirements may impinge on my normal Monday stream, which is Monday's a work day. You know what I mean? But normally I'm able to get some time in on Mondays and Fridays and Wednesdays to stream during my off time as a software engineer. By the way, the next time we do stream, it'll be this red guitar here, my Slash model. Epiphone Slash. You see the Slash, his top hat signature there that he does, kind of a cartoon. Beautiful. It's a really nice guitar. I really enjoy it. Looking forward to playing it. Once again, lots of people came by, said hi. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, a little Diet Coke left. It's kind of brown. It's kind of tan, as I like to call it. Brown is a good color. Tan. Anyway, let me just see it. Well, the ice is melted. Definitely show's over. But there will be more. Thanks for coming by. Is my friend Milo? Or nobody's stream. Well, Bella Rama is on, but she doesn't accept. She does not accept. What I call raids. Nobody that I know is typically the only people I can really raid are in the music category. I don't really see anyone in the music category that I know. I like to raid Heavenly when she's on, but I don't think she's around today. So I'm just going to do my little, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. See you later, everybody.